Hi, and welcome back to Morgellons discussion and microscopy videos. I'm your host, Jeremy Murphy, and I've never been to Florida. Alright, so today I want to make a response to Brittany's new video about the CDC being the reason that patients are treated the way they are to this day. And let me just be clear. I appreciate her efforts towards raising awareness about Morgellons disease. What I don't appreciate is people feeding her bad information along the way. Because if you take time to read this study right here, then you'll understand exactly why Morgellons patients are treated the way they are today, and it has nothing to do with the CDC, because in this paper right here, A History of Morgellons Disease from Delusion to Definition, it talks about Morgellons patients going all the way back from 1544. And basically what's happened is that there have been a series of physicians along the way who have interacted with these patients, and they've done studies on these. People have been doing studies on patients for hundreds of years now, maybe thousands of years now. And there wasn't no CDC back in 1544, I'm pretty sure. And each of these physicians have had their own beliefs, their own ideas about why these patients were experiencing these set of symptoms. And what this research here tells us is that, well, let me read this passage right here for you. From 1902 to 1938, case studies describing parasitophobias or dermatological hypochondriases that resulted in delusional interpretation of skin sensations were published sporadically. However, as early as 1935, an association between spirochetal infection and delusions of parasitosis was documented by the French physician V, who reported that 6 of the 8 subjects in his case studies had syphilis. In 1938, a pivotal narrative of DOP was published by Ekbom, a series of case studies describing patients who had sensations of movement and the belief that insects were crawling on or under skin. Ekbom felt that determining the underlying cause of the formication was important, stating that it is the underlying illness that determines the overall presentation of the beliefs. And it is perhaps too simple that the parasitophobias should be considered as mental illness and nothing more. Interestingly, like V, Ekbom found that spirochetal infestation was present in his patient cohort, and 3 of Ekbom's 7 patients had documented cases of syphilis. Despite the fact that syphilis was considered rare in Sweden, Ekbom did not believe that spirochetal infection was a contributing factor. This has been going on for a long time, and V and Ekbom, the studies that they produced 100 years ago, that's what physicians and dermatologists, they learn from today. When people started getting microscopes off Amazon and the internet from AOL, and they were starting to be able to share what they saw in their skin, that's when the problem of spirochetal infestation, infection, what you will. In this paper, it says infection both times. I misspoke. There are some researchers who look at spirochetes and their infections as infestations, and that bacteria is parasitic. And I'd have to agree, because they kind of live off me. But the fact is, they are bacteria and they're infections, and antibiotics are typically effective against them if you can get them in the right dose and the appropriate saturation. If that means you got to go in through the veins or in through the muscles or through the gut, who knows? But the doctor should, and that's why we formed the new Morgellons movement. so we can raise funds for scientific research so that physicians can recognize and remediate the Morgellons disease condition and that patients can get the care they desperately need. So, the purpose of this video wasn't to say, I gotcha. It's to say, look, why are people feeding you bad misinformation? Don't let them do that to you, especially if you're going to get on YouTube every day. Be brave to get on YouTube every day and talk about Morgellons. I mean, that's some serious stuff that people will poke fun at you and they will laugh at you over. So if you're willing to get on here and talk about some, scientific information about the real Morgellons disease, and I think you're a brave individual, but I just don't want to see you taken advantage of. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like. You want to. And we'll talk about this soon. See you.